Hariom, let us start. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshal, Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri, Gurave Namaha. Om Sinduraruna Vigraham Trunayana Manikya Mauli Spurat Tara Nayaka Shekaram Spidamukhi Mabina Vatshoruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Rattotpalam Bibratim Saumyam Ratnagadastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayet Paramambikam ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्तां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्राय दाक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसत् हेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुदां सर्वसम्पत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्द्रजिदेक्षणां ससर्जावभाषाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीं अरुणमाल्यभूषोज्ज्वलां जवाकुसुमभासुरां जपविदौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतभाषाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिविरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येव विभावये महेशीम् Om Parashakti Namaha Om Parashakti Namaha Om Parashakti Namaha. So today we will do from 201 till 215. Our objective is to cover till 215 today. So let us start. Om Satgati Pradaye Namaha Om Sarveshwari Namaha Om Sarvamayi Namaha Om Sarvamantra Namaha Om Sarvayantratmigaye Namaha Om Sarvatantrarupa Namaha Om Manonmani Namaha Om Maheshwari Namaha Om Mahadevi Namaha Om Mahalakshmi Namaha Om Mridapriya Namaha Om Maharupa Namaha Om Mahapuja Namaha Om Mahapadaganashi Namaha Om Mahamaya Namaha. So we look at the first name of the fourth kala. This is the fourth kala, the fourth 100th name. We're starting from today. Om Satgati Pradaye Namaha. So Sat, which is the first part of it, Sat means true, good or eternal. Gati has several meanings. Gati means path. Gati can mean destination. Both are similar meanings. Gati is you are the refuge. That is one meaning of Gati. Gati also means knowledge. These are several meanings of the word Gati. It's not just one meaning. So Gati generally means, or it can also mean, Gati can also mean speed. If you look at the Hindi meaning, Gati, that is the speed with which you are traveling. So the meaning at Prada is one who gives. Pradayini. So she is one who gives. So she who leads into the right path. Who is Devi? Tripura Sundari Devi is one who leads into the right path. That is the literal meaning of this name of Devi. So what is the meaning? The meaning of leading into the right path. We are all Jivatmas, and Satgati is the journey of the Jivatma to the Paramatma. So ultimately, from the experience, it goes, we move from our current human existence to a state of moksha or state of liberation. That is what this Satgati means. Now, when you are talking of the meaning of Gati as knowledge, what is Sad in that case? Sad in that case means Brahman. So Brahman means, then that case this means this that Devi is one who gives the knowledge of self to the person. Gives the knowledge of self to the person, and also means righteous and refuge. So she is the person who gives refuge to those who are righteous in their approach in life. If you are righteous and you approach Devi, then Devi will give us refuge. So our physical, more than physical, mental and spiritual cleanliness is necessary in order for us to approach Devi and for Devi to give us refuge in her. Okay, so this is another meaning of Sadgati Prada. The next one, Sarveshwari or Om Sarveshwariyai Namaha. Sarva Ishwari. So that if you split it, she who rules over all living and non-living things. She who rules over all living and non-living things, that is Sarva Ishwari. She is the Ishwari or Lord of everything. So that is the meaning of Sarva Ishwari. They say that even a leaf, if the leaf is to fall, that needs grace. Yesterday, during the bhajan, we spoke about the importance of divine intervention. We talked about divine grace. Without divine grace, nothing is going to happen on this planet. Without divine grace, next instant, we might fall dead. The next instant, for us, even for our tongue to open and speak the name of Devi, for that also divine grace is needed. So divine grace is needed even for us to utter the name of Devi, to call out the name of Devi. Even for that, we need divine grace. So if divine grace is not there, nothing is going to happen. So she is there in every aspect of life. They say that not even an ant moves. Even for the ant to move, you need divine grace. The next heartbeat to happen, you need divine grace. The next heartbeat, you skip one beat, you are in hospital. So remember that without Devi's grace, nothing is going to happen on this planet. She controls and protects everything, and she has the power to act one way or the other. You can act in this way, or you can act in that way, or you don't need to act also, as per what Devi desires. If Devi desires that no action is going to happen, then that is also going to happen as per Devi's desire. So therefore, for everything to happen, you need Devi's grace. Sarveshwari, Sarva Ishwari, Om Sarveshwariyai Namaha. 203, Sarvamayi, or if you look at it, Om Sarvamayai Namaha. The word Mayi means made of, consisting of, and or it is all pervading. So Devi is one who is pervading every living and non-living. So it is basically the same meaning of the previous one, similar meaning of Sarveshwari. So similar meaning of this, she who pervades every living and non-living thing. Now, we say that all the tattvas, all cosmic elements from earth to Lord Shiva are contained in Devi. Devi is above Lord Shiva. So every aspect, even of Lord Shiva, is contained in Devi. Now there is a Tantra Shastra called as Kamika Tantra. There is a Tantra Shastra called as Kamika Tantra. They say that as per this Tantra, there are 24 worlds. There are 24 worlds, and these worlds are on different parts of Lord Shiva. These worlds are present on different parts of Lord Shiva, and if you look at the ways these are manifested. These are manifested in several ways in the form of letters, the letters of the Sanskrit alphabet. So this is one way in which these are manifested. These 6 aspects are categorized into the Sthula Sharira and the Sushma Sharira. These are all part of Kashmir Shaivism and Tantric traditions. So one form of manifestation is using Varna, which is the letters, or Mantra, which are the seed syllables, the Pada, which are the words, the Tattva, which are the principles or elements, which are 36 principles comprising the universe from Shiva, Shakti to Earth, and Bhuvana, which is the different worlds, and Kala, which is time. So these are the ways in which, and if you look at the methodology in which this is manifested, it is manifested in different parts of Lord Shiva. It is manifested as Shiva's, as being on the visualizing these on the skin of Lord Shiva, then on the hair of Lord Shiva, the blood of Lord Shiva, and the flesh of Lord Shiva, the blood vessels of Lord Shiva, and the Shiva's sinews and bones and marrow. These are all the different ways in which these are manifested within Lord Shiva. So Shiva and Shakti are one. Shiva and Shakti are one, and when Shiva and Shakti are one, this basically means that she is manifesting herself as Shiva and Shakti. So therefore, Sarvamayi means that she is right above all of this, completely manifesting herself in all forms, in all beings, right across all the 224 worlds. 204. Sarvamantra Swarupini. Sarvamantra Swarupini. Sarva means all. Mantra, which is the mantras. Swarupini, she is the goddess of all of these mantras. They say that there are 7 crore mantras. There are 7 crore mantras that are there, and each mantra, it didn't come as something which was created. The mantras revealed themselves to rishis. So the mantras were revealed to the rishis, and these rishis saw these mantras in the form of a deity. So when you chant a mantra, generally the rishi is also remembered. You don't just simply chant the mantra. The rishi is generally remembered as part of the mantra. So when you chant a mantra, and that mantra, constant chanting of the mantra leads to salvation. Leads to salvation of the person. Now, the right at the center of all these mantras is the Shri Vidya mantra, which is the Panchadasakshari mantra, or if you add the Hreem, it becomes the Shodashakshari mantra. This mantra, the Sri Vidya mantra, is right at the center, and this mantra leads to all the other mantras according to the several Upanishads are concerned. So she is the essence of all mantras. So that is what this refers to. Sarvamantra Swarupini, or Sarvamantra Swarupinyai Namaha. 205. Sarvayantratmika. Om Sarvayantratmikayai Namaha. She who is the soul of all yantras. If you remember the first discussions, which was about the Sri Vidya worship, to get to Sri Vidya worship, you can do either the chakra worship or the Shodashakshari mantra, or you can do Sri Lalitha Sahasranamam chanting. So, she is the soul of all the yantras, not just the mantras. She is the soul of all the yantras. What is the yantra? Yantra is the symbol which represents the deity, or in the form of the chakra, which is a figure or syllables. So Devi is the support behind which whatever deity is invoked, she is the soul behind it. She is the Shakti behind whichever deity is being invoked. So she is called as Sarvayantraatmika. She is the Atma behind the yantra. She is the soul of all the yantras. Next one is Sarvatantrarupa. Om Sarvatantrarupayai Namaha. She who is the soul of all the tantras. This is 206. She is the goal. Suppose see, generally, if you look at the tantric form of worship, the tantric form of worship is based on Bhagavati, Devi. Devi worship is tantra. So the Devi as well as Shiva. So she is the soul of all the tantra. She is the goal in all tantric paths. So whatever tantric paths are laid down by the Shastras, they merge into Devi. Just like the rivers go into the ocean, just like that, all the paths in Tantra lead to the ocean. So the easiest and the most readily available tantric method is meditation. Meditation is the most easiest form in which you meditate on the form of Devi, on the physical form of Devi from head to toe. And when you meditate on Devi from head to toe, you will be able to understand what Devi is all about. So, if you look at the different parts of Devi's body, Tantra Shastra refers to different parts of Devi's body. Like for instance, the Kamika Tantra. Kamika Tantra is described as her feet, Yogaja as her heels, Karana and Prasrita as toes, Ajita as knees, Deepta as thighs, Amshuma as her back, Suprabheda as navel, Vijaya as the stomach, Nishwasa as the heart, Swayambhuva as the bosom, Anala as the three eyes, Viragama as the throat, Ruru Tantra as the ears, Makuta as the crown, Vipula as the arms, Chandrajnana as the chest, Bimba as the face, Prodgita as the tongue, Lalita as the cheeks, Siddha as the forehead, Samtana as the ears or the earrings, Kirana as the gems, Vatula as the garments, and all the other tantras as hair on her body. So basically, thank you, Ram, for your kindness. So these are the different ways, the different tantras that are there inside Devi. The different parts of the body are she's called as Sarvatantrarupa. Sarvatantrarupayai Namaha. 207. Manonmani. Manonmani is derived from two words. The first one is called as Manas. Manas is mind. And Unmani is rising above. Unmani is rising above. You combine the two words, Manas and Unmani, you come up with Manonmani. Unmani. Manonmani is the word. Om Manonmanyai Namaha. So, Manonmani is the name for Shiva's Shakti. Shiva's Shakti, according to the Shruti, you remember we covered Shruti and Smriti before. According to that, Manonmani is Shiva's Shakti. So, there is a quote here that says that when the object of meditation, the act of meditation, and the meditator all become one. I'll repeat that. The object of meditation, the act of meditation, and the meditator, when they become one, then the state of Manonmani arises, in which the experience of the nectar of jnana occurs. So, repeat that again. When the object of meditation, the act of meditation, and the meditator, when all of this become one, when this becomes one, when it is all the same, when there is complete unison in that particular objective, the state of Manonmani, which is Manas Unmani, the state of Manonmani arises, in which the experience of the nectar of jnana occurs. So, when you experience jnana inside you, knowledge, you could call it sixth sense, that occurs within you. So, the experience of Devi which occurs in such a state is called as Manonmani. So, the other aspect is that Devi is also Manonmani, as she is the one who uplifts the mind of the devotee. She uplifts the mind of the devotee. See, the thing is, we are all normal people. We are not extraordinary people at all. But we should try and become as extraordinary as possible. If we try on a scale of 1 to 10, we might end up with probably a 3 or a 4. But what is important is the effort that we take to achieve our growth, and only when we take that effort will we see growth. If you don't take effort, no pain, no gain. Now, if you remember, we covered an aspect in the human physiology called as the Brahmarandara. Brahmarandara, if you remember, is just below the Sahasrara chakra. That is a circular point below the Sahasrara chakra, and it is through that point that life enters the physical body and life leaves the physical body. That is just below the Sahasrara chakra. And we spoke at that time, when we spoke earlier, we spoke about Indu. Indu and Unmani. We spoke only about these two. We spoke about Indu and Unmani. Where is it? It is above the Agnya chakra and below this position called as Brahmarandara. Right? Actually, it is not just these 2 points. There are a total of 8 points between the Agnya chakra and the Brahmarandara. Which are these 8 points? Indu, Rodini, Nada, Nadanta, Shakti, Vyapini, Samana, and Unmani or Manonmani, Manas Unmani. So these are the total of 8 points which are above the Agnya chakra, and God Almighty, which are above the, just give me a second. Yeah. Which are above the Agnya chakra and beneath the Brahmarandara. Yeah. So now these locations are not locations which you will get for 10,000 rupees. These locations you have to have a proper guru to initiate you and take you through this, so that you will be able to achieve and activate these things. This must be learned extremely subtle locations. This is extremely subtle. You need a proper guidance and teaching by a proper learned guru before somebody can say that these areas are there and point you to these areas, and you will be visible. These will be visible to you. Now there is a yogic posture as well, where the eyes are held slightly open without blinking. You hold the eyes slightly open without blinking. You control your breath without inhalation, without exhalation. Without inhalation and without exhalation. And the mind is made blank and free of speculation and doubt. Now, holding breath, to a great extent, we'll probably be able to stop breathing, stop inhalation, stopping exhalation. In that state, you make your mind blank. How is that going to be possible? That is the biggest challenge. Because when you're keeping your breath, you're not controlling your inhalation and exhalation, at that point, your mind will start thinking about your breathing. The first thing that you will do is, oh, when am I going to release my breathing? When am I going to start inhaling? So the challenge, this is the biggest challenge, which is holding your breath and ensuring that the mind is completely blank and free of speculation, free of any form of doubt. Devi is to be meditated in this state. It is in this state that we have to feel the presence of Devi. Within that particular state is also called as Manonmani. So they say that when the mind is free from all sensory connections and is concentrated in your Ajna chakra, when your mind is free from all sensory connections and concentrated in the Ajna chakra, one reaches the state of Unmani. Devi bestows this state on the yogi. So this is all interconnected. Our yoga is interconnected. The meditation is interconnected. Pranayama is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. It's all in the part of, if you ask me, it's all part of your Ashtanga yoga state of self-realization. In Ashtanga yoga, you're having the yamas, the niyamas, and the pranayamas, all part of your purification process. It is not a straightforward shortcut where you go straight from doing your physical postures and go straight shortcut and do a meditation. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. Forget about doing all that. Even getting to meditate, forget about meditation. Forget about doing your asanas also. First step, yama. The first step in Ashtanga yoga, which is yama. How many of us are able to go past the concepts of yama? Then go past that which is niyama, which is personal aspects. First is social behavior, second is personal aspects. Only when you get past your interpersonal interactions and go into personal cleanliness, only then the asanas that you do are going to make any difference whatsoever in you. So this is so important for us to ensure that we work towards these aspects in terms of physical cleanliness. 208. Maheshwari. It is not Maheshwari. It is Maheshwari. Maheshwariyai Namaha. Now Maheshwara is the name of Shiva, and Maheshwara, when he is in the tamasic or the dormant state, he becomes Rudra. Maheshwara in the tamasic state becomes Rudra, the destroyer. When Rajasic state is there, Maheshwara becomes Brahma. And when Sattvic state is there, the peaceful state is there, he is Vishnu. So all three are forms of Maheshwara. So Maheshwara is the source or support for the Trinity, and he is devoid of the three gunas. Nirgunayai Namaha. We have covered it before. But that is referring to Shakti. It is also referring to Lord Shiva or Lord Maheshwara. Yeah. So, and Maheshwara, see, this is how they say that Maheshwara is the source or support of Trinity and is devoid of the gunas. And therefore, this is also the reason why Maheshwara is worshipped in the form of a linga. I say that Maheshwara is worshipped in the form of a linga because that is devoid of any form. Yeah, they say that it's a formless absolute form of the Lord. Linga means symbol or a sign in Sanskrit, and it represents the Nirguna Brahman, the formless infinite reality. And there are several stories about it. They say that in as far as the Shiva Linga, why Shiva is not worshipped in the form of a person, and rather is worshipped as a linga. They say that as per Padma Purana, there is a story that Shiva was cursed by sage Bhrigu, where Bhrigu Maharshi, and Bhrigu Maharshi was going around with the Trinity and trying to find out who's got more patience, and Shiva completely ignored him. And as part of that ignorance, Bhrigu Maharshi apparently cursed Lord Shiva and said that he will be worshipped in the form of a linga, yeah, rather than in the form of Shiva. Yeah. So there is another version. This is even though this version is given, they say that the Shiva Mahapurana says that Shiva appeared as a pillar of fire, as a lingam, to settle a dispute between Brahma and Vishnu, making it, you see, as a manifestation of this supreme formless nature, and it is not necessarily as a result of the curse, as said by some of the other versions. So they say that if you are going to worship a linga, a Shiva linga, you should do this with a pure heart while observing celibacy. You should be celibate and you should worship it with a pure heart. If you touch the Shiva linga without a pure heart, chances are that you will burn yourself. So please ensure that if ever you have a Shiva linga at home, you are doing a puja. That's why they say that if you have a Shiva linga at home and you are doing the Shiva linga upasana, you should ensure that you do it as per the way in which you have done the pratishtha, as per the sankalpa of your pratishtha. If your sankalpa of your pratishtha is that you are going to do puja every day, you should do puja of your Shiva linga every day. If you are not doing it, you will end up in trouble. So when we have a Shiva linga at home, when I bought the Shiva linga, first thing I did was I spoke to my spiritual consultant, and what he told me was, if you have the sankalpa that you are going to do puja every day, you should do it. I said, I cannot do it because I will be here in Dubai. I might not be in Dubai. So what if I am not in Dubai? How will I do the puja? Then he said, you think of your sankalpa and accordingly you buy it. So then my sankalpa at that time was that I will do this Shiva linga puja on a Saturday morning. On a Saturday morning, I will do this Shiva linga puja as long as I am in a position to do it if I am in Dubai. This was the sankalpa with which I bought that Shiva linga, and whenever I have been in Dubai and I am in a position to do it, by and large all Saturdays we have done the Shiva linga upasana every Saturday in the morning. That is the first task of the morning. Before that task is done, I make sure that there are several aspects which you have to take care while doing the Shiva linga puja. There is one or two aspects which I don't do. Like for instance, I don't do the Panchadravya. I don't do the Panchadravya Abhisheka. I don't do that. But the other aspects, like for instance, doing the Arati, applying sandalwood, all these aspects, I make sure that I do. I do the first thing, which is the washing with the Ganga. The symbolism is washing with the waters of the Ganga. So that is with water. So do that, and all the other things which I can do, I do as part of the Shiva linga puja. So why I have said this is that as far as this name of Devi is concerned, she who is the wife of Maheshwara, and Maheshwara is in the form of a linga, and therefore while touching the linga, while doing the puja, we have to take care of several aspects. Maheshwara is the Lord of all creation and the Lord of human greatness. So this is also something that comes as part of this name of Devi, which is Maheshwari Namaha. 209. Mahadevi. Om Mahadevi Namaha. So this word Maha, that root of the word Maha is Mah, M-A-H, Maha. So the root That word Maha means worship. Root, that means worship. It is not just plain worship, it is intense worship or extremely great worship. Also, Mahapuja, if you're talking of Mahapuja or Mahapuja, then Mahapuja means great worship. Yeah. So they say that she who has an immeasurable body, she who has you cannot imagine or fathom the extent of Devi, that is what this Mahadevi means. So they say that the entire cosmos represents Devi, represents Devi's body. The body is immense and cannot be measured by any instruments. And the other meaning which I talked about, which is Maha, is that which basically means worship. So she's called Mahadevi, which means that she cannot be measured by words and is worthy of worship in all possible ways. She is worthy of worship in all possible ways. So that is another meaning of Mahadevi. Yeah. She is also another meaning is that she is the wife of Mahadeva. Because she is the wife of Mahadeva, therefore she is Mahadevi. And there is another thing, but Maha means great. So she is the greatest of the goddesses, Mahadevi. That is another meaning of Mahadevi or Mahadeviyai Namaha. 210, Mahalakshmi. Now, Lakshma means sign. It means a mark or a sign. So she is the literal meaning is she who is the great goddess Lakshmi. Mahalakshmi, great goddess Lakshmi. Now, Lakshma means a mark or a sign. Lakshmi is one who possesses all divine attributes. Divine, like the word Shri, Lakshmi also refers to similar divine attributes. She is the wife of Mahavishnu. Lakshmi is the wife of Mahavishnu. So Vishnu, as if you remember, when we talked about Maheshwara in his sattvic form is Vishnu. Vishnu is Maheshwara in a predominant sattvic role. Devi becomes Mahalakshmi. Yeah. Lakshmi also means Parvati. There is another meaning of Lakshmi. So, the all beautiful dark complexioned Shakti who sits in Maheshwara's lap is called Mahalakshmi. The all beautiful dark complexioned Shakti who sits in Maheshwara's lap is called Mahalakshmi. So if you don't, when we come across cultures where they say that only ladies who are fair are good looking. When they talk of complexion and say that complexion, fair means very beautiful. So you look at our Devis, you go to Kamakshi of Kanchipuram. You go to Kamakshi of Kanchipuram. How beautiful she is. How beautiful she is. She's so beautiful and she's completely dark. She's completely dark. How beautiful she is. So how can people even compare complexion or use complexion as the gauge to measure of beauty? So if somebody says that you're looking dark and therefore you're not beautiful, tell them off. Don't even bother talking to such people. Tell them that you're racist and then walk away from them. Because all our Devis, good lot of our Devis were dark skinned. Our Lord Krishna himself was dark skinned. Why are we even concerned about complexion as Indians and followers of Sanatana Dharma? We don't need to be concerned about such things. Lakshmi is the origin of everything that manifests in the form of the three gunas. And Devi has got other names also. She is famous as Mahalasa, Mahalakshmi, because she slew the demon called as Mahala. A girl of 13 years is called Mahala. If you remember, there was a Kanya aspect also. The girl of 8 years, which is there is a puja, if you remember right, in one of the earlier names of Devi, we covered that. Yeah, I think it's called as Kumari Puja. It's called as Kumari Puja. Yeah. So if a girl of 13 years is called Mahalakshmi according to Daumya Smriti. Daumya Smriti refers to a girl of 13 years as Mahalakshmi. So if you're 13 years old, be happy. You're also so you're Mahalakshmi. You're the Mahalakshmi of your house. They say that when a girl child is born, they say that Mahalakshmi is come into your home. When a girl child is born, they say that Mahalakshmi is come into your home. 211. Mridapriya. Mridapriya. The word Mrida means merciful, benevolent, and loving. Now, if you go into Shiva Ashtotram, Shiva Ashtotram has this name of Shiva, which is Om Mridayai Namaha. Shiva Ashtotram has one of the words of Shiva is Mrida. This one, she is the beloved, she who is the beloved of Mrida, which is Lord Shiva. Mridapriya, Mridapriyayai Namaha. Who is this person? Tripura Sundari Devi. Mrida is the form of Shiva, and that particular form is sattvic and bestows happiness on everything in this universe. Lord Shiva gives happiness. They say that in the evening time, in the Trigala time, which is the twilight time. The twilight time is the time when you should be praying. The twilight time is the time at the time of sunset, not sunset when the night starts, but just at that time when the sun is setting. That is the time when your prayers should be happening. You should light a lamp at home and you should indulge in prayers, not indulge in your senses. You should never indulge in your senses at that twilight time. That is the most important time, because that is the time when Shiva's Bhudaganas are going around showering blessings. All the Bhudaganas are going around showering blessings. You should be in a state to receive blessings. If you need to be in that state to receive blessings, that is the time when you should be in complete prayer. Please ensure that in your homes, at this time, whatever happens, don't switch off any nonsensical music, switch off your television, switch off everything. If you want to listen to some devotional music, do that. If you have something that you want to chant, chant it. Light the lamp, chant it. If you can, sit in front of your Devi or Devada just for 5-10 minutes. That is enough. That's the most auspicious time in the evening, twilight time. Sandhya, that's called in Malayalam, Sandhya Neram. Yeah. 212, Maharupa. She who has a great form. So you have the 4 forms of the Supreme Brahman. You have Purusha, Pradhana, Vyakta and Kala. These are the 4 forms. One is Purusha, which is the human body. Pradhana, unmanifested aspect. Vyakta, which is the manifested, and Kala, which is time. These are the 4 forms of the Supreme Brahman. These forms are the basis of creation, preservation and destruction. Who is Devi? Devi is beyond all of these. Devi is Atita, beyond these things. She is Maharupa. 212. The next one, 213, Mahapuja. She who is the greatest object of worship. She is worshipped by whom? She is worshipped by Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. So she is worshipped by all these people, and she is therefore worthy of worship by all these people, and therefore she is called Mahapuja. 214, Mahapadaganashini. Mahapadaganashinyai Namaha. What is Padaka? Padaka means sin. Yeah. Mahapadaganashini. She is the person who destroys sins. She who destroys even the greatest of sins. Now, one glance from Devi got Shiva to work to create Ganesha, if you remember, going back. One glance from Devi is enough to burn all your sins. One glance from Devi is enough. The Brahmanda Purana says that if you remember the holy feet of Parashakti, that is the most effective atonement of all sins committed, knowingly or unknowingly. Now, knowingly or unknowingly. Sins committed knowingly or unknowingly. Knowingly, if we commit sins again and again, that is what we keep. I was reflecting on this. Knowingly, if we repeat these sins, what is going to happen? Well, that is something that we have to reflect. So Devi might turn around and say, okay, I'll forgive you now. Next time she'll say, okay, I'll forgive you now again. I don't know how long she's going to keep forgiving us for these sins. Yeah. So they say that a glance from Devi is enough, and Purna or Sampurna Sharanagati at Devi's feet is probably the best way to ensure that your sins are eradicated. Pataka causes a fall. Pataka causes complete fall. It is not the physical fall. It is a spiritual fall. Spiritual fall. The sin causes spiritual fall. What Devi does is, over time, she removes desire and anger, which causes these fall. Key concerns which have been raised is desire and anger. And they say that anger comes because of desire. When the desire is unfulfilled, that is when anger comes in. Anger is triggered. So therefore, we have to first remove anger, and when we remove anger, automatically desire is also eliminated. So coming to the last one for today, which is also quite an interesting one, which is Mahamaya. Om Mahamayayai Namaha. So she who is the great illusion, Devi herself is illusion. She who is the great illusion. So what they say is that she can cause illusory agitation even in Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Even in these people she can cause illusion. And they say that Mahamaya forcibly draws the minds of sages also. So we are that way, that is some relief. If the sages are also drawn into illusion, into Maya, okay, we are better off. We are not sages. So we are much better off. Because we are susceptible as opposed to sages. But that does not mean that we should lose our path and lose our direction. So there is another meaning of Mahamaya. She links the jivas to happiness and sorrow. See, this Maya is something that can cause sorrow. This Maya can also cause happiness. Illusion. It is there, but it is not there. When this Maya is there, that can create joy, it can also create extreme sorrow. Yeah? So she is the supreme goddess who takes knowledge from the being who possesses knowledge. So if you have knowledge, so it is like what happens to our children also. They study for the exam. They have studied everything, and just before the exam, before going to the school or college, they'll say, Mummy, I don't know anything. That is also Maya. That is also complete Maya. And they start crying. I don't know how many of you are doing that. But this crying happens. Yeah, where this Maya creates that complete illusion. So she does that. Devi does it. She gives complete birth to the people, leads him through the many desires. And how are these desires formed? These desires is depending on your own karma, depending on your prior samskara. Depending on your prior samskara. So depending on that, depending on your own karma, so you have feeling of confusion, the feeling of ego, feeling of doubt, all these feelings are created inside you by Maya. She does this out of Maya. Day and night he is a victim of anxiety, and that anxiety results in what? Results in anger, results from sorrow, results from greed, all these things, human emotions which come out What is the root cause? Maya. So goddess brings sorrow, goddess brings joy. Both these things, everything comes from Devi. And after all these things, the jiva is lifted up. After all these things, if there is Sharanagati, jiva is lifted up and the jiva becomes a realized soul and immerses in the ocean of bliss. Now the prarabdha karma, that is the deciding factor whether this jiva is going to rise or jiva is not going to rise. So the prarabdha karma determines what is going to be the ultimate position where that particular jiva ends up. Who creates a prarabdha karma? We. And who is responsible for we? Devi. So ultimately everything goes and boils down to Devi acting inside us. So that is a little bit of solace. If you are committing some sin, turn around and say, oh, Devi is making me commit this sin. You can end up blaming Devi for the sin that we are committing also. That is also possible. Yeah. That is also Maya. So if you start talking about Maya, we'll keep going in circles and circles and circles, because wherever you look, you can say that, oh, this is Maya, oh, that is Maya, oh, this is not Maya, but actually that is Maya. So ultimately, we will end up in a case of complete Maya. Yeah. So even someone who's totally bound in Maya can undergo transformation instantly by the nearness of realized souls and association with the realized souls. Which is why they say that you should try and attach yourselves or look for a realized master. Look for a guru who will hold your hand and go forward, take you forward. There is one bhajan also, which is Pelava Kaiviril Tumbil Pidichunyan. So there's I don't remember the complete lyrics, but what that means is that, I'm holding on to your finger. I'm holding on to your finger. Only a finger, not even the hand. I'm holding on to your finger, oh mother. Please take me along with you. So this is a call out to Mata Mridapriya. Please give me just that one little finger and let me hold on to that finger, and so that you can guide me through this. Yesterday, in fact, there was one other story. I will tell you this. So we'll just try and complete this. Maya is a state where something seems to be what it is not. So we have covered all these aspects of Maya. Mahamaya is interpreted as a treasury of unparalleled compassion. Treasury of unparalleled compassion. Why compassion? Because when Maya is lifted, all we can see, Devi takes care of the Maya of people. She acts as the mother. That is where the act of compassion comes in a person's life. So yesterday we were discussing about this during this Saundarya Lahari discussion, some other video which we were talking about one of the Swamijis called Swami Ramakrishnananda. Swami Ramakrishnananda, who is a Swamiji at Vallikava. So this Swamiji, apparently during one of the there was an interview going on. There was an interview going on of Amma, Mata Mridapriya's interview was going on. So he saw an insect running up into Amma's hair. So he saw an insect running up into Amma's hair. Her hair was locked up there. So he saw an insect and he immediately wanted to go and remove that insect which he saw running up. So when he put his hand up there in the center, he felt that central hole, that place where the center of the top of a skull, Amma's skull was completely soft, like as if it was going inside.
This much
It went in approximately about 2 inches. So when it went in, he was shocked and he took his hand out. And later, the Swami Ramakrishnananda asked Amma, "What is this?" She said that there are some things like that in me. And if you need, I can make yours also like that. So this is what we referred to in the earlier this thing, which is the Brahmarandara, which is where life comes in and life goes out. As we grow old, probably beyond 6 months, closer to a year, at that time this firms up. This aspect, this center of your skull firms up, and you do not have that softness in your skull at all. But as the child is born, the next time you get to a newborn child, try and just touch it. You can feel the heartbeat. That's the life which is actually coming in there. Saundarya Lahari, as we talked about again, is extremely Gupta Gyan. It's not something which can be discussed on a public forum. It is something that you have to go to a learned master, to a learned guru, get yourselves initiated and learn one-on-one, because it covers Tantra in a very deep way. And if you don't learn from a learned master, chances are you will be extremely uncomfortable with that discussion. You will be very uncomfortable with that. You will not be able to take it. It's too tough for a normal person to get into Saundarya Lahari. We've gone a little well beyond time today. We normally close by about 8:10 or so. But then I wanted to complete about 15 today. And we will, on Wednesday, when we are back, we'll probably do another 10. Because 226 is pretty long. It's a Mahatantra. It's pretty long. Talks of the Tantra. And we'll probably catch up the another 15 before the end of this week, so that we can complete at least 50 names of Devi this week. I offer these words at the lotus feet of Lalitha Tripura Sundari Devi. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormaham Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Lokaha Samastaha Sugino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sugino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sugino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Karacharana Kritam Va Kayajam Karmajam Va Shravananayana Va Manasam Va Paradam Vidam Avidam Va Sarvamedakshmasva. Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Jaya Jaya Karunabde Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi